Tim, also known as long naps on the internet. Cube design is my passion, and today I'm gonna deep dive into this big boy, 1v1 Jumpstart EDH. In case you're not familiar with it, I've made a 5-minute elevator pitch to get you acquainted. I recommend watching it before this video. Let's dive into it. So I designed this cube to satisfy my need to play fair commander with only one other person. You can probably imagine that regular EDH decks don't translate perfectly into this type of format. So I made a few extra rules that cube owners can apply to optimize their gameplay experience. Let's get the basics out of the way. Life totals start at 30 in 1v1. If you feel like the decks need more or less time to end the game, I suggest you adjust this number in increments of 5 and see where it takes you. Because of the low life total, 1v1 and no life gain strategies that are present, commander damage isn't necessary. The commander color identity rule isn't relevant either, since I want players to be creative with their deck draft and commander choices. Let me show you why this is necessary. You deck draft Kesses, Mizzix's and Toshiro's boosters, and you want to try out some of these legendaries to lead your spell-based Grixis commander deck. Now, with the commander color identity in mind, you would only be able to play Kess as your commander for your Grixis deck. So let's get that limitation out of here. Removal is a key ingredient in every booster, but there's only so much exile-based removal out there that I can't in good conscience let Perforos, Ronis and their god friends be indestructible. They can still be your commanders, and some still even have built-in protection, like when you don't have enough devotion to make them into creatures. Overall, they're still powerful, but you can do something about them, just like you would with any other commander. The Scarab God and the Locust God fall into the same category. They won't be returned to your hand at the end of the turn. Now, let's get into something more spicy and divisive. The commander protection I always play with. At the start of each game, I give both players an emblem that reads, whenever you cast a legendary permanent from the command zone, it gets hexproof until the end of your next turn. What does that mean exactly? That means you can cast Garth, the One-Eyed, and can depend on at least one activation before your opponent can remove it. You can play Vannifar and safely pot at least one creature. You can activate Golos before it dies. All of this ensures that some of the strategies that really depend on your commander to get the deck going can do so at least once before your opponent can say anything about it. Sounds great, right? Why then is it so divisive? Well, your opponent has the same privilege. But instead of looking at it like an unfair advantage for your commander over the rest of your creatures, I learned that this makes your choice of commander more important, and not just the 8th card in your opener. With targeted removal being fairly homogeneously applied to all boosters, and commanders generally being the most important creature in your deck, without this emblem, you would let your hero's demise sit in your hand until your opponent's Golos comes down. Every single time. We can do better than that. So, give the emblem a try. While we're talking about the choice of commander being important, I made sure you can really get creative in this format by making a lot of the weaker legendaries have partner as a custom ability. Muldrotha, for example, is a pretty busted commander, and having Yawgmoth's Duel on most of the turns that you have her out makes her a powerful commander on her own. Now let's look at something like Sedges, for example. He's not terrible, but he's also 6 mana, just like Muldrotha, and it costs mana to get back just creatures, not any permanent, and just until the end of your turn. Now that's not even remotely as good as Muldrotha. Let's give him the partner ability and see who we can pair him with. Old Stick Fingers, for example, would be a flexible, surefire way of getting creatures into your yard to then unearth them. Kagad just as well. Varagoth can let you tutor reliably, once after attacking from the command zone and then after unearthing him. When he gets exiled at the end of your turn, he goes right back into the command zone, and you probably even have the mana to cast him again. There are a lot of options for interesting commander combinations, so check out the bottom section of the overview page and let me know your favorite couple. Did I get you inspired to convert your favorite commander into a Jumpstart booster consisting of its 20 quintessential cards? Well, you can use this booster template as a guide and see what you can come up with. Before you know it, you'll have a handful of fun boosters on your hand and have made the first steps to your own Jumpstart EDH cube. Don't want to pick out every card? Well, give every booster an arcane signet and a mind stone and see where that takes you. Make it your own. Designing it and playing it is addictively fun. Thanks for watching. This is the first of hopefully many videos in which I will be showcasing my cubes and discussing cube design. You can get in touch with me via Twitter at long_naps or on Reddit at u/long-naps. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. See you next time.